Welcome back to the English Hour. I'm your host, Sophia, and today's topic is something that's on everyone's mind lately: artificial intelligence. Or simply, AI.
Oh yes, Sophia, this is such an exciting and also slightly intimidating topic for many people. AI is changing our world in real time.
Absolutely. And today we're going to explore it deeply but in a relaxed way. So, even if you're just starting to learn English, you'll be able to follow along and improve your listening skills too.
That's the beauty of this podcast. We take complex topics and turn them into everyday conversations.
So, Jacob, let's start with a simple question. What exactly is artificial intelligence?
Great place to start. In simple terms, artificial intelligence is when machines are designed to think and learn like humans. They use data, logic, and algorithms to make decisions or predictions.
So it's kind of like giving a brain to a machine.
Exactly. Imagine teaching a computer how to recognize a cat in a photo. You show it thousands of pictures, and eventually, it learns the patterns: ears, fur, eyes, and says, "This is a cat."
That's amazing. But how is AI different from regular software?
Regular software follows strict rules. For example, if you press a button, it opens a menu. AI, on the other hand, can learn and adapt. It doesn't need to be told every single step, it figures things out.
Like how Netflix recommends shows to us.
Perfect example, Netflix uses AI to study what you watch and then suggests other shows based on your habits.
Wow. So the more I watch, the smarter the AI gets.
Yes, it learns from you. That's called machine learning, a type of AI, where systems learn from data and improve over time.
Let's talk about that for a second. Machine learning sounds technical, but I think our listeners would love a basic explanation.
Sure. Imagine teaching a child to recognize a banana. You show the child a few bananas, and they learn the shape and color. Now the child can point out bananas on their own. That's machine learning, learning from examples.
That's such a simple and clear way to explain it. Thank you. So, AI is being used in everyday life more than we think, right?
Oh yes, everywhere: in your phone, in Google Maps, in smart assistants like Alexa or Siri, even in your car if you have a modern one.
That's wild. So even when I type in Google, "What's the weather today?" That's AI.
Definitely. Google uses AI to understand your question and fetch the right answer, sometimes even before you finish typing.
That's impressive, but it also makes me wonder, are there any risks with AI?
Great question. There are definitely concerns like privacy, job loss, or the fear that AI might become too powerful.
I've heard people say AI might take over all the jobs. Is that really possible?
It's not so black and white. AI will change how we work. Some jobs may go away, but new ones will be created too. The key is learning how to work with AI.
That makes sense. So it's not about being replaced, it's about adapting.
Exactly. Imagine a doctor using AI to help diagnose a patient. The AI can process thousands of cases quickly, but the doctor still makes the final decision.
So humans and AI work as a team.
Yes, that's the ideal scenario. We call it human in the loop, where AI helps, but humans stay in control.
That's a relief to hear. I also wonder, what's the difference between AI and robots? People often mix them up.
Good observation. A robot is a physical machine, like something with arms and wheels. AI is the brain. You can have a robot without AI, or AI without a robot.
Oh, so AI is like the software, and the robot is the hardware.
Exactly. You can even have AI inside your phone, and that's not a robot at all.
That really clears it up. So Jacob, do you think AI can be creative? Like write music or paint?
Surprisingly, yes, there are AI programs that write poems, create music, design logos, even paint in the style of Van Gogh.
That's incredible. But can AI feel anything?
Not yet. AI can simulate emotions, like a chatbot saying, "I'm sorry," but it doesn't truly feel emotions like humans do.
That's comforting in a way. I think people worry that AI might become too human.
Yes, that's a common fear, especially from movies. But real AI is far from that. We're still in the early stages.
Speaking of movies, which ones do you think show AI in a realistic way?
Good one. I'd say movies like Her show a more realistic emotional relationship with AI. Ex Machina and The Imitation Game also touch on real ideas.
I loved Her. It really made me think, can humans fall in love with AI?
It's already happening, Sophia. People form emotional bonds with AI companions, especially in countries like Japan.
That's both fascinating and a little sad. I guess it shows how powerful human emotion is even when it's directed at a machine.
Absolutely. It also shows that AI can fill emotional gaps, but it can't replace real human connection.
I agree. So where do you think AI is heading in the next 10 years?
We'll see more personalization like AI tutors, AI doctors, AI fitness coaches. But the biggest change will be in education and healthcare.
That's exciting. Do you think AI will help people learn languages too?
Oh, yes, it already is. Apps like Duolingo use AI to adjust lessons based on your strengths and weaknesses.
So it's like having a personal teacher 24/7.
Exactly, and it makes learning more fun and less frustrating.
I love that. Okay, Jacob, I'm going to throw a fun question at you. If you could have an AI assistant that does one thing perfectly, what would it be?
Hmm. Great question. I think I'd want an AI that edits all my emails perfectly so I don't have to spend hours rewriting them.
That's such a smart answer. I'd want one that plans my meals and tells me what to eat every day based on how I feel.
That would be amazing and very healthy too.
We've covered so much already, and we're just getting started. I think in the next segment, we should dive into ethical questions. Like, should AI have rights?
Ooh, that's a deep one. Let's get into it.
So, Jacob, let's dive into the ethical side of AI. This is a big topic, but I think it's really important. Do you think AI should have rights?
That's a tough one, Sophia. It depends on how we define rights. If AI becomes conscious, which, by the way, hasn't happened yet, then maybe we'll need to think about it. But for now, AI doesn't feel, suffer, or have needs, so it doesn't require rights the way humans or animals do.
Interesting. So, even though AI can talk, write, or even mimic emotions, it's still not truly alive.
Exactly. It's like a mirror, it reflects human behavior but doesn't experience anything. So giving it rights today would be like giving rights to your microwave.
Haha, that's a funny image. But it does raise another question: what about our rights when it comes to AI? Like our data, our privacy.
That's a much more urgent issue. AI systems collect tons of data, what we watch, what we say, where we go. And often, we don't even realize how much we're giving away.
So, the real danger is how people use AI.
Exactly. AI itself is neutral, it's just a tool. But in the wrong hands, it can be used to manipulate, control, or exploit people.
Like deepfakes. I saw a video the other day where a celebrity was saying things they never actually said. It looked so real.
Yes, deepfakes are a great example of how AI can be misused. They can damage reputations, spread fake news, even be used in scams.
That's scary. So, what can we do to protect ourselves?
Education is key. People need to understand what AI can and can't do. We also need better laws to protect our privacy and make companies accountable.
It's kind of like the internet in the early days, exciting, but also a bit like the Wild West.
Exactly. AI is still developing and society hasn't caught up yet with rules and boundaries.
Do you think AI should be regulated like medicine or aviation?
I do. In critical areas like healthcare, finance, or national security, there should be strict rules. You wouldn't want an AI making life or death decisions without human oversight.
That brings up something I heard recently about AI being used in military technology. What's your take on that?
It's controversial. Some countries are developing autonomous drones or defense systems. But many experts say AI should never be allowed to decide who lives or dies.
That makes sense. Life and death decisions should never be left to code.
Absolutely. Machines don't have empathy or moral judgment. And even with the best programming, they can make mistakes.
So, is the goal to always keep humans on the loop, like you mentioned earlier?
Yes, especially in sensitive situations. Human oversight is crucial to make sure AI is being used responsibly.
Now let's talk about fairness. I've read that AI can sometimes be biased. How does that happen?
Great question. AI learns from data, and if the data is biased, the AI becomes biased too. For example, if a hiring AI is trained on past company data that favored men, it might continue to favor men in hiring decisions.
So AI isn't naturally fair, it just reflects whatever it's fed.
Exactly. It doesn't have a moral compass. That's why diverse and unbiased data is so important when training AI.
And I guess the people building the AI need to be diverse too.
Absolutely. Different perspectives help spot potential problems early. It's not just about the code, it's about the culture behind the code.
That's powerful. AI is shaping the future, so the people shaping AI really matter.
100%. The more diverse the team, the more fair and effective the AI will be for everyone.
Now let's shift a bit. How do you feel about AI in relationships? Like virtual partners or emotional support bots?
That's becoming more common. Some people use AI companions to deal with loneliness, and in some cases, it really helps.
But can it replace real human connection?
Not completely. AI can mimic empathy, but it doesn't feel empathy. It can help people feel heard, but it's not a substitute for true mutual relationships.
I wonder if some people might prefer AI over humans, especially if they've had bad experiences.
That's true. AI is predictable, non-judgmental, and always available. But it's also limited. It doesn't grow with you or challenge you emotionally the way a human does.
That's deep. I can see how it might feel safer, but maybe not more fulfilling in the long run.
Exactly. It's like talking to a really advanced mirror.
So AI can offer comfort, but not connection.
That's a great way to put it. It can provide support, but it doesn't connect in the way humans do.
Okay, Jacob, let's go philosophical for a minute. If AI becomes so advanced that it seems conscious, should we treat it like a person?
That's the million-dollar question. If something behaves like a person, speaks like a person, and reacts like a person, it might deserve moral consideration, even if it's not conscious.
Like giving it respect, even if it doesn't have feelings.
Yes, out of caution or maybe kindness. Some people argue we should be ethical just in case AI ever does become sentient.
Wow. That really flips the conversation. It's not just about protecting humans from AI, it's also about how we treat AI itself.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where technology reflects our best values, not our worst fears.
Beautifully said. And speaking of fears, do you think AI will ever surpass human intelligence completely?
That's called the singularity. And some experts believe it's possible. If AI becomes smarter than humans in every area, we might lose control over it.
That sounds like a sci movie.
It does, but some scientists are taking it very seriously. That's why safety research in AI is such a big focus right now.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface of this topic. Jacob.
Oh, we could talk about this for days. AI is everywhere, and it's only getting more complex.
And our listeners are probably loving this too, learning English while learning about the future.
Best of both worlds, right?
Exactly. In our next part, let's explore AI in creative fields like writing books, making movies, and composing music.
Yes, let's see how AI is changing the way we express ourselves.
Great, so, Jacob, AI is making waves in creativity, writing books, composing music, even creating artwork. How do you see AI's role in these creative fields?
It's fascinating, Sophia. AI tools can generate poems, stories, and music that sound surprisingly human. They analyze patterns from huge data sets and then create something new based on that. But the big question is, can AI truly be creative?
Right, because creativity often feels like a deeply human, emotional thing. Can an algorithm really feel inspired?
Exactly. AI doesn't have feelings or personal experiences, which are core to human creativity. What AI does is remix and recombine existing ideas in novel ways. It's a different kind of creativity, more technical than emotional.
So it's like a master of imitation, but without a soul.
You could say that. AI can mimic styles of famous artists or writers, but it doesn't have its own unique voice or message.
That makes me wonder, how do artists feel about AI? Are they threatened by it?
Some are concerned that AI could replace human artists or writers. Others see it as a tool to help them explore new ideas or speed up parts of their process.
Like a creative assistant.
Exactly. Imagine a musician using AI to generate background tracks, or a writer getting AI suggestions for plot twists. It's a collaboration rather than a competition.
That's a nice way to look at it. But what about copyright? If AI uses existing works to create new art, who owns the rights?
That's a tricky legal area and very much up for debate. Since AI learns from existing content, some argue it's like sampling music without permission. Laws are struggling to keep up with technology.
So the law might need a big update soon.
Definitely. Protecting creators while allowing AI innovation is a delicate balance.
Now, on the topic of creativity, have you tried using any AI art or writing tools yourself?
I have. I used an AI to draft some story ideas. It gave me interesting prompts that sparked my own imagination. But I always have to edit and shape the work. It's not perfect out of the box.
That's great. So AI can be like a creative partner that never gets tired.
Yes, and it can suggest ideas from unexpected angles. Sometimes that's exactly what a creative person needs to break through a block.
It sounds like AI might help democratize creativity, making it easier for more people to express themselves.
Absolutely. People who might struggle with writing or music could use AI to get started and build confidence.
But could it also lead to a flood of generic or low quality content?
That's a risk. If everyone uses the same AI tools without much personal input, art might become less diverse or meaningful.
So human creativity will always be needed to give it heart and meaning.
Definitely. AI can provide tools and inspiration, but it's humans who create culture and meaning.
That's comforting to hear. The soul of creativity stays with us.
For now and the foreseeable future.
Now, let's talk about AI in education. How is AI changing the way people learn?
AI-powered tutors can personalize learning for each student, adapting to their pace and style. It can identify weak areas and offer practice exactly where needed.
That sounds like a dream for learners.
It really is. AI can provide instant feedback and endless practice opportunities, which is hard for human teachers to match.
Could AI replace teachers?
I don't think so. Teachers do more than deliver content. They inspire, motivate, and understand students emotionally.
So AI can assist but not replace the human touch in education.
Think of AI as a very smart teaching assistant.
And what about language learning? AI chatbots can have conversations with learners, right?
Yes, that's a big game changer. People can practice speaking anytime without fear of judgment.
That's probably why our listeners love this channel so much.
Absolutely. AI tools can help learners become more confident and fluent.
Before we go further, are there any AI tools you recommend for our listeners who want to try learning with AI?
There are many great ones. Duolingo uses AI to personalize lessons, and apps like ChatGPT let you practice conversation naturally.
Awesome. I encourage everyone to try those out.
Me too. Just remember to balance AI practice with real human interaction.
Great advice. Now, what about AI in healthcare? That's been a huge topic recently.
AI helps doctors diagnose diseases faster and more accurately by analyzing medical images and patient data.
That can save lives.
Exactly. AI can detect cancers or other conditions earlier than humans sometimes can.
But does that mean doctors will be replaced?
No, AI is a tool to assist doctors. The final judgment and patient care always need a human.
So it's about enhancing, not replacing.
Yes, AI reduces errors and helps doctors focus on patient communication and treatment decisions.
It seems AI's role across all fields is to empower humans rather than substitute them.
That's the best way to see it.
Okay, Jacob, we've covered a lot today. I'm curious what excites you most about AI's future.
I'm excited about AI helping solve big problems like climate change and healthcare. If we use it wisely, it can be a force for good.
And what worries you?
Misuse and losing control. If we're not careful, AI could widen inequality or threaten privacy.
So education and regulation are key.
We have to steer AI development responsibly.
Thank you, Jacob, for this amazing conversation. Listeners, stay tuned for the next part, where we'll discuss AI's impact on jobs and the economy.
Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Let's dive right into the topic of AI and jobs. Jacob, many people worry AI will take their jobs away. What's your perspective on that?
It's a very real concern, Sophia. AI can automate repetitive tasks, which means some jobs will change or disappear. But historically, technology has also created new types of jobs we couldn't have imagined before.
Like how the internet created jobs like web developers and digital marketers.
Exactly. AI might eliminate certain roles but also create opportunities in AI maintenance, ethics, and creative problem solving.
So the workforce will evolve, not vanish.
Yes, but the transition could be difficult. Some workers might need to learn new skills to stay relevant.
That leads us to reskilling and upskilling. How can workers prepare for the AI future?
Lifelong learning is key. People should focus on skills that AI can't easily replace, like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and creativity.
And how can companies support their employees during this shift?
Investing in training programs and creating a culture that embraces change helps. Also, transparent communication about how AI will affect jobs reduces fear.
That's important. Fear can cause resistance.
Right. Embracing AI as a tool rather than a threat changes the mindset.
What about AI creating new jobs we haven't thought of yet?
There's huge potential there. For instance, AI ethics officers, data curators, and AI explainability experts are growing roles.
AI explainability experts, tell us more.
These professionals help make AI decisions understandable to humans, very important for trust.
So as AI gets smarter, we need humans to keep it accountable.
Absolutely. Without accountability, AI decisions could be biased or unfair.
Speaking of bias, can you explain AI bias and why it's a problem?
AI systems learn from data, and if that data contains biases, the AI can reproduce or even amplify them. This can lead to unfair treatment in hiring, lending, or law enforcement.
That sounds serious. How can we prevent AI bias?
By carefully curating training data, testing AI models for fairness, and involving diverse teams in development.
So diversity in AI teams helps catch problems early.
Exactly. Different perspectives reduce blind spots.
What role do governments have in regulating AI?
Governments need to create laws that promote transparency, privacy, and fairness while encouraging innovation.
A tough balancing act.
Indeed, overregulation can stifle progress, but underregulation can lead to harm.
Are there any countries leading the way in AI policy?
The EU has been proactive with its AI Act proposal, focusing on risk management and ethics.
Interesting. What about AI's impact on privacy?
AI collects and analyzes massive amounts of personal data, raising concerns about surveillance and data misuse.
That's why data protection laws are crucial.
Yes, users need control over their data and transparency about how it's used.
Now, let's switch gears a bit. AI is often portrayed as either a hero or a villain in movies. What's your take on these portrayals?
Movies tend to exaggerate AI's capabilities and dangers for drama. In reality, AI is a tool without intent. It's the humans behind it who shape outcomes.
So the ethical responsibility lies with us.
Exactly, AI itself doesn't have desires or goals.
That's an important distinction. Now, how about AI creativity? Do you think AI will ever write a best-selling novel or create a masterpiece painting?
AI can produce impressive work, but true masterpieces often reflect deep human experience. AI might assist, but originality and emotional depth come from people.
So AI is a partner, not a replacement in creative arts.
Yes, it can inspire or help with technical aspects, but not replace human soul.
Finally, what advice would you give to someone curious but overwhelmed by AI?
Start learning about AI basics, experiment with tools, but always maintain a critical mindset. Don't fear AI, understand it.
Wise words. Knowledge is empowerment.
Exactly. The future with AI is what we make of it.
Thank you so much, Jacob. We have so much more to explore next time. Listeners, stay curious and keep learning.
Can't wait for our next chat.
Awesome. Let's talk more about how AI affects daily life. Jacob, what are some AI applications people might use without even realizing it?
Great question, Sophia. AI is everywhere in your phone's voice assistant, personalized recommendations on streaming services, even in spam filters for email.
That's true. I didn't realize how much AI helps behind the scenes.
It's like an invisible helper making our experiences smoother and more personalized.
What about smart homes? AI controls devices like thermostats and lights, right?
Yes, smart home devices learn your habits to save energy or improve comfort, adapting automatically.
But do people worry about privacy with these devices, listening all the time?
Definitely. There's a trade-off between convenience and privacy. Users should understand what data is collected and how it's used.
Good advice. Switching topics, AI is also impacting transportation. What do you think about self-driving cars?
Self-driving technology promises safer roads by reducing human error. But the technology is complex and still being perfected.
I've heard about ethical dilemmas with self-driving cars, like making split-second decisions in accidents.
Exactly. Programming AI to make ethical decisions raises tough questions. Should it prioritize passenger safety or pedestrians?
That's a heavy responsibility for AI.
Yes, and society needs to decide what values AI should follow.
Moving on, AI is advancing in language translation. How reliable are AI translators today?
They're getting very good at translating text and speech in real time, breaking language barriers.
That must be amazing for travel and global business.
Absolutely. But sometimes nuances and cultural context get lost, so human translators are still important.
So AI aids but doesn't fully replace human language experts.
Exactly. It's a tool for efficiency and accessibility.
What about AI and mental health support? Can AI chatbots really help?
AI chatbots can provide initial support, like listening and offering coping strategies, which can be helpful when human therapists aren't available.
But they're not a substitute for professional care.
Correct. AI can assist, but serious mental health issues need human professionals.
It seems AI's role in society is growing fast. What skills will be most valuable in the age of AI?
Adaptability, critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence will be key.
Those are skills humans excel at compared to machines.
Exactly, developing those will make people indispensable.
Finally, Jacob, what's one thing you want our listeners to remember about AI?
That AI is a tool created by humans, it reflects our values and choices. We have the power to shape how AI impacts our future.
Powerful message. Thanks for sharing your insights today.
My pleasure, Sophia. Looking forward to our next deep dive.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us on the English Hour. Keep exploring and stay curious. Absolutely, Jacob. Let's dig even deeper. When you say AI reflects our values and choices, can you give some examples of how that plays out in real-world AI systems?
Sure, one clear example is facial recognition technology. Depending on the data used to train the AI, it can either perform very accurately across all demographics, or it might be biased, misidentifying people of certain ethnicities more often.
So if the training data is biased, the AI becomes biased.
Exactly. The AI learns patterns from the data it's fed. If that data has historic inequalities or lacks diversity, the AI's decisions will reflect those flaws.
That's pretty concerning. How do developers try to fix that?
There are several methods. One is to gather more diverse and representative datasets. Another is to test AI outputs rigorously to identify and correct biases before deployment.
Are there organizations or watchdogs that oversee AI fairness?
Yes, several nonprofits and government bodies are starting to monitor AI systems. Some companies even have internal ethics boards.
Ethics boards, what do they do?
They review AI projects to ensure they meet ethical standards, things like privacy, fairness, transparency, and social impact.
Sounds like a crucial step. But what about AI transparency? Many AI systems, especially deep learning models, are called black boxes because their decisions are hard to interpret.
That's a big challenge. Researchers are working on explainable AI, which aims to make AI decision processes clearer to humans.
How does explainable AI help everyday users?
If an AI denies your loan application, for example, explainable AI can show you why, maybe low credit score or insufficient income, so the process feels fair and understandable.
That definitely builds trust. Without it, people might think AI decisions are random or unfair.
Exactly. Trust is fundamental for AI adoption.
Let's talk about AI creativity a bit more. Recently, we've seen AI writing poems, composing music, and even creating digital art. What's your take on that?
AI creativity is fascinating. These systems can generate impressive outputs by learning from existing works. But it's different from human creativity, which is often inspired by emotions, life experiences, and intentions.
So AI can mimic creativity, but not truly originate it.
In a way, yes. AI recombines patterns it learned, but it doesn't have feelings or personal stories behind its work.
Do you think AI generated art could ever replace human artists?
I don't think so. AI can be a tool that artists use to enhance their work or explore new ideas, but the human touch is irreplaceable.
That's reassuring for artists worried about AI competition.
Definitely. Collaboration between AI and humans opens new creative frontiers.
Switching gears, what do you think about AI's role in education? Could AI tutors replace human teachers?
AI tutors can personalize learning, provide instant feedback, and help with repetitive practice. But human teachers offer empathy, motivation, and adapt to emotional needs which AI can't fully replicate.
So AI is more of a supplement than a replacement in education.
Exactly. The ideal scenario is a hybrid model where AI handles personalized tasks and teachers focus on mentorship and social learning.
That makes sense. What about AI in healthcare? We've heard of AI diagnosing diseases or analyzing medical images.
AI can analyze huge amounts of data quickly and detect patterns humans might miss, improving diagnosis and treatment plans.
Are there risks involved?
Yes, errors in AI models could lead to misdiagnosis. Also, data privacy is critical since medical data is very sensitive.
How can these risks be managed?
Through rigorous testing, transparency in AI tools, and strong regulations on patient data use.
It's incredible how AI is touching so many fields. What about the environment? Can AI help with climate change?
Absolutely. AI models predict weather patterns, optimize energy use, and help design sustainable systems.
That's inspiring. Do you think AI will play a big role in saving the planet?
It has great potential, but it depends on how responsibly we develop and deploy AI technologies.
Responsibility keeps coming up as a central theme. What advice would you give to AI developers to keep their work ethical?
Developers should involve diverse perspectives, consider social impacts, prioritize privacy, and be transparent with users.
Great advice. Let's talk about the future. Where do you see AI in 10 or 20 years?
I think AI will be integrated into every aspect of life work, health, education, entertainment, making things more efficient and personalized.
Do you think AI might ever become truly conscious?
That's a big philosophical question. Current AI lacks consciousness or self-awareness. Whether we'll create conscious AI remains uncertain and is debated.
If conscious AI were possible, what ethical challenges would arise?
Huge ones: rights of AI, responsibilities, impacts on society. It would redefine our understanding of life.
Mind blowing. We're venturing into science fiction territory now.
Exactly, but some scientists are seriously researching these questions.
Fascinating. Before we pause, let's share some resources for listeners who want to learn more about AI.
Great idea. Websites like Coursera and edX offer courses on AI fundamentals. Also, the AI Now Institute publishes research on AI ethics.
And podcasts like A Alignment and Lex Fridman Podcast have deep conversations on AI topics.
Plus, reading books like Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark gives a broad view of AI's future.
Wonderful resources. Thanks for all this rich insight, Jacob.
My pleasure, Sophia. Looking forward to continuing our AI journey in the next episode.
Let's dive even deeper then. Jacob, what do you think about AI and its impact on jobs? Are we heading toward massive unemployment?
That's a common concern, Sophia. AI will definitely automate some tasks, especially repetitive and routine ones. But historically, technology creates new kinds of jobs even as it changes old ones.
So it's not just about job loss, but job transformation.
Exactly. For example, AI might replace some data entry roles, but it also creates demand for AI specialists, data scientists, and people who can manage and interpret AI outputs.
That means people need to keep learning and adapting.
Yes, lifelong learning will be essential to stay relevant in the job market.
What about jobs that require creativity or emotional intelligence? Are those safe from AI?
Those jobs are harder to automate because AI lacks true empathy and originality. Roles like counselors, artists, and leaders involve human connection and nuanced judgment.
So focusing on those uniquely human skills can future-proof careers.
Absolutely. Developing emotional intelligence, creativity, and critical thinking will be key.
How can schools prepare students for an AI-driven future?
By teaching not just technical skills but also problem solving, creativity, ethics, and adaptability.
Ethics in education is interesting. Why is that important for I?
Because understanding ethical implications helps future developers and users make responsible choices about AI deployment.
That leads me to another question. What about AI regulation? Should governments control AI development?
Regulation is necessary to prevent misuse, protect privacy, and ensure safety. But it needs to balance innovation with caution.
What challenges exist in regulating AI?
AI evolves rapidly, making laws quickly outdated. Also, AI is global, so international cooperation is vital.
Are there any current examples of AI regulation?
The European Union's AI Act is one of the first comprehensive attempts to regulate AI, focusing on risk-based frameworks.
Interesting. Do you think AI regulation might slow down innovation?
It can impose constraints, but thoughtful regulation can also foster trust and wider adoption.
Trust again. It's such a recurring theme.
Without trust, people won't embrace AI technologies, no matter how advanced.
Let's touch on AI creativity again. Do you think AI-generated content challenges ideas about authorship and originality?
When AI creates art or music, questions arise: who owns the rights? The AI's creator? The user? Or is it public domain?
That must be a legal minefield.
It is. Copyright laws are struggling to keep up with these new realities.
Have there been any landmark cases yet?
Not many yet, but it's a hot topic in intellectual property law.
Beyond law, how does AI creativity impact human artists emotionally?
Some artists feel threatened, fearing their work may be undervalued or replaced.
But others see it as a tool or collaborator.
Exactly, it depends on perspective. Many embrace AI to push boundaries.
What about AI and misinformation? How can AI both help and harm information quality?
AI can detect fake news and deepfakes, but can also be used to create convincing misinformation at scale.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yes, which makes media literacy more important than ever.
How can individuals protect themselves from AI-generated misinformation?
By checking multiple sources, questioning sensational claims, and using fact-checking tools.
We really need critical thinking skills for the AI era.
Absolutely. It's essential to stay informed and skeptical.
Let's talk about AI and language again. How about AI's role in preserving endangered languages?
AI can document and analyze endangered languages, creating digital archives, and even helping revive them.
That's amazing technology, helping preserve cultural heritage.
It is a beautiful use of AI.
What about ethical concerns related to data ownership when recording minority languages?
Consent and respectful collaboration with communities are vital. The data belongs to them, and they should guide how it's used.
That respect is so important in AI projects.
Yes, community involvement is key to ethical AI.
Finally, Jacob, what excites you most about AI's future?
Its potential to solve complex problems like climate change, healthcare challenges, and education accessibility.
And what worries you?
Misuse, inequality, and losing control if we don't set good boundaries.
Thanks for sharing your honest thoughts. There's so much to think about with AI.
Indeed, Sophia, it's a thrilling and challenging journey ahead for all of us.
Absolutely. I'm grateful for your insights today, Jacob.
Thank you, Sophia. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for this incredible conversation about artificial intelligence. We covered so many important topics, from AI's impact on jobs and creativity to ethics, regulation, and the future. I hope our listeners found this as insightful and thought-provoking as I did.
It was my pleasure, Sophia. I'm glad we could explore these ideas together. I'm excited to see how AI continues to evolve and shape our world.
To everyone listening, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the English Hour for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Also, leave your questions and thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you.
Thanks again, everyone. Stay curious and keep learning.
Until next time, take care and keep exploring the amazing world of English and beyond.